Oh boy, TV!
I ended up with a nosebleed and ended up in UCH.
What, off the back of that weekend in Sheppey? So you've gone to the Isle of Sheppey into the caravan with Tina, Mikey's mum. No, with Lynn, with Ricky and Donna's mum, right? And is that when you had the nosebleed after that?
Long time after that.
Now, that when you say nosebleed, because it was quite serious, you were hospitalised.
Yeah, I was hospitalised.
Do you reckon do you reckon that might have been partly to, even though it might not have been showing and not be coming out of the never-ending fucking internal?
Probably the stress I
was the stress you'd have put, because you've got 3 families that you're looking after all of them, and driving a cab and playing the squeeze box and singing and having a pint and seeing if there's any other birds on the go as well. Busy bloke, my old man.
I'd had enough of birds.
Isn't it weird that you do there's a point in your life where you can go, I've had enough. If you're successful, the amount of my mates that would never be able to say that.
I wouldn't recommend doing my lifestyle to anybody. I think I said to you recently that if you're in a relationship, wait till it's finished before you decide to have it.
Yeah, it's before. Yeah, that's a sensible way. I mean,
it's not but playing 2 people together. In this case, 3. It wasn't the thing to do, and I suffered from it because I got to the stage where
you can't remember what you've said.
Well, I didn't know. There was an occasion when I was driving the cab and I ended up at Finsbury Park.
Going
to Chris.
So you're going to the marital home, right? You're in the cab, and you've gone home.
And then stopped the cab at the house and didn't go in, and went back to Wood Green. And then left. Who was
in Wood Green? Tina.
Lynn.
Them. Right? Did you go in?
No.
Right, you just sat outside. Wow.
And then drove off back to, and eventually, after making, I think, 3 round trips between the 2, I stopped and had gone to the back of the cab and had a chat with myself. This is not on.
Well, you didn't knock one out.
You
did. Well, I thought you were going to say you knocked one out. Go to the back of the cab, knocked one out. I was fine. No, so you did what? And said, it's not on. What am I doing? You basically had a moment of crisis of conscience.
Yeah.
Only you'd had that years and years before. But I'm only joking, by the way. Thing is, here's the interesting thing. We have had this chat. Is that I didn't carry it on to the same age levels, right? But I was, when I was younger, there's no denying I was fairly successful. When I say successful, I didn't have to do anything. I just had birds all over me, and it got to. And again, I had at some point 3 on the go at once, all that they were my partner, but I didn't have kids with any of them. I wasn't married to any of them, and equally, I would have all of those kids, and you might not have had all of those kids if you just pulled it out and come over their tits or something like that. Old school. You know what I mean? If in doubt, pull it out. Surely. So, was the nosebleed? That was all of that. Like that night is quite an interesting thing to describe, because that really is. So you've literally probably driven 10-mile circular, right, in 3 rows of just going house to house to house and not knowing where to go, even though you could have walked into any one of them. You didn't know what to be. And what so when you had this word with yourself, what did you say? What was your answer?
I don't think it solved the problem. I think I carried on as normal. But however, when I ended up in hospital with the nosebleed, the first to arrive was Chris and Sharon. And then 20 minutes later.
So when you say this, I just want to stop you for 1 second, only because you say in hospital with a nosebleed. Now, people have nosebleeds and they don't go to hospital. So I just want to know
well, the nosebleed was high up, about 1/4 of an inch, I reckon, from the brain.
Right.
And I lost about 6 months of blood.
Oh shit! So it wasn't a nosebleed; it was a river. Wow. Were you scared?
Well, I thought I'd had it. And
How did that feel? Only because I know what that feels like as well. So how did it feel to?
well, I remember having a great big thing like a haggis or a throat, 2 tubes up my nose, and drips on both arms. And I think they 6 pints of blood transfusion. Yeah. And while I was recovering, Chris and Sharon walked into the hospital, and then 20 minutes later, in walks Lynn, Donna, and Ricky.
Now, have any of them ever visually seen each other at all before this?
Oh, this is the crunch bit because I thought that Lynn had maybe told the kids that I wasn't the dad because I was never stopping most nights.
You told them that she had not, that they might not know that you were their dad. Did they call you dad?
They did, yeah. And in walks Lynn with the kids, and then 10 minutes, 20 minutes later, in comes Tina. All three round the bed.
This is Tina, the mistress, not Tina, the daughter.
Tina, the mistress.
So you got the
Tina.
three, the wife and 2 mistresses, all round the bed at the same time.
At the same time.
Had they ever seen each other visually before? Obviously, Tina and Lynn had because she'd done the decorating. Sean, hey, that's interesting. Go on. We just had a door slam basically in the little hut. The door, the wind blew the door there. Go on.
And I remember once one of the nurses coming up to me when they'd all left and said, "Are you Muslim?" I said, "No, maybe you should be."
Because of all the wives. Now, I know this from Rick, right? Because we talked, it's been fortuitous somehow that when we all first met 2 years ago properly, that Mikey initially came over and stayed at mine to do some work for me.
Yeah.
And then Rick came over. So I had this blessed moment where, in fact, those two had as well, because they'd never spent that much time together alone before either, right? Literally,
Yeah.
and so there was this. It was a very bonding time, and there were lots of stories. But one I got from Rick is about this night, right? The day in the hospital. So when Lynn, is it Lynn, his mum?
Yeah.
Well, when they left the hospital, she said, "Do you know who those ladies were?" And then obviously they didn't, and said they're your sisters. So they did. She didn't. They didn't know any of that. But why would they? In a way, it's when's the right? I don't know. I wouldn't know when the right time to tell anything is. Kids, I suppose, right at the beginning. Let's be honest from the beginning. I guess best, but it's very hard. Very, very hard. I had in my family, in the other side, you are my family, but the other side of our family, there was one of my uncles and aunts that before they got married, there was already a child, and instead of taking the child on board as within that family, mum didn't want to do that for whatever reason. So the son grew up imagining that his mum was his sister and that his nan and granddad were his mum and dad. So people do, and that when that all unravels, people, it's like, why would you have done that to me? Why would I have not known? I mean, the thing is, that's the other thing. When you're kids, if your dad is you, right, which that is the case for me. Although I wasn't, I could have been. Well, I was anywhere. But for the other two, if their dad only appeared every now and then at weekends and whatever, that's normal to them.
Yeah,
that's how it is, completely normal, and they assume that everybody is a bit like that. Even if you're in really bad family and there's not enough, you're being abused, not enough food, whatever. To the kid, they don't know any difference, so it's completely normal. So how did that go down with everybody else? Because again, we've got to bear in mind, of course, there's 3 families, but there's always the core marital family, and the kids, certainly the kids from it as well. There'd be a hell of a lot of judgment on you for for this. The happiest Larry, luckiest Larry, Larry the legend. Subscribe, keep Larry alive. Oh, sorry, Dad. This is as good as it gets.
Well, where do we?
So I'm saying, right? What was the reaction after this 3-way visualization in a hospital where you've lost 6 pints of blood? Imagine you're going to die, and probably at that moment really wished it had happened now. No, not the third one. How did that go down?
Well, I promised. Lynn hadn't told the kids, obviously, up at that time.
She did it that day, yeah.
Yeah, and would you believe that Don and Ricky decorated the hallway in the house and welcome home, Dad, and all the rest. So I let them all down because I went home and I was discharged. I went back to Tina because that's where my cab was, in the hub garage.
Right. Where did she live?
So, Kilburn.
Right. So you went straight to get the cab and not to there. So,
well,
but you're not to know. Did you know that they'd set something special up for you?
Sorry?
Did you know that they'd set something special up for you?
I didn't know. And I regretted it because Tina then kept me awake all night, ill as I was. She wouldn't give me 5 minutes rest, nagged me all bloody night long. But Lynn and the kids.
Well, because she'd only found out about. She knew obviously that she knew about Chris and the main family, but she didn't know you had another family on the go. I mean, fair play. I've got to be honest. If you don't know, then fair play. So you would have a go. That'd be like, what the fuck. Having said that, if you're in an affair, there's what we expect.
I think she knew. I don't remember whether I told her or not, but knowing women,
now that was a summary, right? Now I reckon that's a good place to pause for this episode. That I mean, Dad, wow. Now, by the way, the big revelation at the end, I just totally made that up to keep you here until now, but that wasn't bad, I'd say, in the scheme of things. Larry the legend. I mean, my God. Just before we do end it, only because you brought up the caravan, right? Let's tell our lovely viewer what about was it one holiday or was it 2 holidays where you had?
Well, when I won a few quid on the lottery, on the pools,
on the football pools. I don't know if that's even a thing anymore, is it?
And the little chalet in Sheppey, and when I went down first,
can I just butt in?
I would.
Isle of Sheppey is a shithole.
Yeah.
Do you not think? It's a swamp.
It was, but there was somewhere to go.
I know, but why you could have bought if you're buying a caravan, they're all over the country. You had to have chosen the Isle of Sheppey. There's not much difference in price.
I think I chose it because the chap that I was working for first before I became a musher, as I say, owner driver, I drove a cab for a chap called Ted Robshaw, and he had a proper chalet, a proper brick built
house,
and he offered us for me holiday, and we liked it. The kids liked it, and when I wanted to be bob in the pools, I decided to buy a little chalet, and then.
Now, what I'm trying to get to is there was at least 1 year where there were 3 caravans on the go.
Anyway, what I'm getting to is, I decided I couldn't carry on dropping the family during the school holidays. You were limited the amount of time they could spend. So I'd take my wife and a couple of the kids, whoever was interested, to the chalet, and then come back empty and then go back and pick them up. And then I thought, I can't handle this. So I decided to, when it was time for Lynn to go, I would take Lynn down and take Chris home.
So you were just hotbedding the chalet, basically, yeah. Like so, one out, one in, one out.
That's how they met.
Oh my God! Wow. So I'm finding out. I mean, I know some of this because the thing is that even he's my dad, but we have only known each other 2 years, right? And we've done a lot of stories, but there's always there's not they're coming out at a different level now. Wow, man!
Yeah.
Wow. Now I happen to know that this gets wilder and wilder, right? It really does. So do subscribe now and also click the notification bell, right? Click that bell because then every time we upload a video, you'll get a reminder for it. But if you don't want to have the bell, subscribe anyway, right? Just please subscribe, like, and do comment. Ask some questions. Any questions that you got for Larry, not how big his special man part is, because we're not going to go there. Apparently it's massive. And like father, like son. The weird thing is, I mean, that is weird that my mum used to say, "Oh, you look just like your dad," right? And she always used to say you were the only man she'd ever loved and that you were all hands or whatever. But evidently, you had some sort of charm or whatever that mystically brought the ladies to you rather than the other way around.
Yeah, I never chased a woman in my life.
I mean, me too. I mean, it's a weird thing, and I did get like you. I got to the stage at one point, not long before I met Zoe, my wife now. I was living with a mate, and I just went, I just can't do it anymore. He's like, what? I said, and he was.
Yeah.
My mates hated me because they could never pull, and there's me with far too many on the go. I'm like, I just can't do it anymore. It's just too much to remember what I've done. I've got to be in a different house every day, and wish that would have been you, and I'd be better off going off and buying a copy of Razzle for 50p. That was a thing that existed in those days. Having a word with myself and going to sleep. But the trouble is that if you've got the flavour, you've got the flavour, haven't you? And that's how it is.
I can never imagine women being like that. I mean, why didn't one of them say, "No, bloody way, I'm not, went down on my own, and I don't want to meet other people." But Lynn would be ready, packed, or to come home, and my lot would go in, and they all met. Tina, Michael's mum, when the baby was born, was invited round to our house.
By Chris?
Yeah.
Wow. And did the rest of the family know this?
Yeah.
Well, the kids knew as well.
Yeah.
How was that? I mean, look, no, do you know what? Because we're going to go back. So we're going to start the next episode with the family reactions and the reactions to everybody. Right. So like, share, subscribe. There'll be another episode coming very hot off this in the next day or two. So keep watching Old Boy TV, possibly the best show on the whole of the brilliant channel that is YouTube. I am Happy.
And I'm Larry.
And together we are Happy as Larry. See you next time. Yep. Or do you want a drink or anything like that?
I would have a cup of tea, I suppose.
Shall I go and get you a cup of tea?
And refresh off.
Yeah, all right, well, let's just make sure I'm going to put this back on charge. We'll just cut.
Back of the net.